Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Nerdy Volume Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about a movie long overdue, a Minecraft movie. Now sit back, relax, and don't forget to turn it to 11. Okay, so what is your impression of the movie? You didn't really watch the movie.
No, I did watch.
Or not the movie. The
game?
Play the game. Yeah.
I have about 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds of playing Minecraft.
Unbelievable.
The game. Yeah, all I know about it is from what I've seen on like Twitch and on different kind of social platforms. Watching you guys play it, I remember seeing you guys building a freaking ginormous cathedral thingy. I was just very impressed. I was like, whoa, this thing is huge. But yeah, I come into the world of Minecraft the same way a newborn comes into the world, unknowing anything.
Okay. Well, what was it? What was a couple of things that you were impressed with as far as the movie goes? Like trying to emulate what you remember from the movie or from what you watched, like gameplay that you've watched, and what was delivered on the movie.
That's a good question. I mean, I think they did a pretty good job of sticking to like how you go about mining? Is that what you call it? I don't know, where you like break things down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, mining.
Yeah. So and then because in the game, I mean, I guess it just. If it's not this way, the way they portrayed it in the movie is kind of genius. Like, you have the actual size of the blocks, but then when you look in your bag, right, they're all like smaller versions of those same blocks. So I liked how every time they broke something down, there was the smaller version of it that they can grab and put away, So I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, and other things impressed me. Specifically, Jason Momoa impressed me.
Oh,
So for those of you who don't know, I did not want to watch this movie. I think I mentioned it when we were talking about it before it was going to come out. I was like, not a movie that I'm really interested in going. But a friend of mine wanted to go watch, and so I went to go watch it with them. And I sat there, and I'm just like, this movie is actually a lot better than I thought it was just going to be stupid. Like today's humor, I don't know if it's just me. You could correct me if I'm wrong.
Right.
But today's humor is like a stupid funny. It's not like a good stupid funny. It's just like
slapstick,
like farts.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
How's that even funny? I don't understand anymore.
Yeah.
Right. There's no depth to the humor.
Yeah.
But this movie was really good. I was and like I said, Jason Momoa specifically. I don't know if you remember, but I said the one thing I hate about this movie from the previews, and I still do, is Jason Momoa's hair. I thought they had a wig on him, but I'm like, no, maybe it's his real hair. I think what it was is just the bangs. It was just so bad. I'm like, why does this man have these bangs, bro?
That's right.
They're killing me. And the highlights in his hair, I was just like, bro, this is like, I mean, I understand, right? Because his character is like, he's still stuck in the 80s, right? And so you're just like, okay, I get it. He hasn't moved on from his like the apex of his life, which was becoming the world champ for. What was his name? His name was Garbage Man.
Garbage Man? Oh, you mean his like his title? As
yeah. He was like Garbage Man, whatever his name was.
Garrett?
Yeah, Garbage Man Garrett was his name because he was taking people to the trash.
And have you ever played that game? It was an 80s game.
The game that he was playing?
Yeah.
Was it a real game?
I don't know. It looked like one. It
looked like a lot of different games, but I didn't think. I thought that was just a fake game for the
character
for the movie.
Oh, movie, yeah.
But it could be a real game. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I mean, it looked like a bunch of other games that you could probably play, like Ninja Turtles. Have you ever played? Remember playing Ninja Turtles?
Yeah,
the arcade version?
One. Yeah, the one where you got like walk up and down.
Yeah.
And like different parts of the screen was like a different layer of the fights. Yeah, I've seen that.
That game was fantastic. I love that game.
Even Simpsons and the X-Men.
Oh yeah, there was this. Yes, there was. I remember. Yeah, I mean a bunch of games were like that, based on that kind of.
I loved playing with
scroll games.
Kids that you don't know. Like kids that would just put a quarter in and they'll just play with you. And then there'd be like 4 of us. None of us know each other, and we're just all like going through like the games.
I wasn't that social.
Oh, dude. Well, see, like my mom and dad, they did bowling leagues, and at the bowling alley there was an arcade. Everybody, all the bowlers were about the same age as my parents, so their kids came, and we were all just playing, and I'd never known them beforehand, so we're just like, playing, like, oh, we're so close, like, ah, and then we get to know each other and this and that and whatever. I learned their names and all that stuff, but I ended up forgetting who they were. I only remember one. And we're still friends to this day. Like 2 years ago, I went on tour, and she was there with her husband, and I was able to go and visit, and they bought me breakfast, which is awesome. That's another story. But yeah, like it was just it was a time. That's why I like Minecraft. My brother got me into this game back in 2013, which is the same year I started One Piece.
That's crazy.
I started One Piece in 2013, and in 2 weeks I caught up to 600 episodes. Y'all don't know.
I will say it is easier to catch up to 600 episodes than it is to catch up to 1,000.
True. Very true. Very true. I even see videos of people saying, I don't want One Piece. Oh, no. He's like, I don't want to catch up to One Piece. He's like, I like watching 15 episodes of One Piece today, knowing I'm going to watch another 15 tomorrow.
Hey, that's not a bad way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I have watched plenty of shows, like live action or anime or cartoon wise, where I'm just like, oh, there's like four seasons of the show, and then you finally catch up, and you're like, crap, now I gotta wait for the next season. Right. It sucks.
Dude, yeah. I don't know how people did it. I don't know how people did it with Attack on Titan with their season 4. They split that in 2.
That was upsetting.
The last 4 episodes is like in a 6-month time frame. I don't know how y'all did it. Y'all did it though.
That was upsetting. I actually still haven't even watched the last parts of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because of the break. I think I watched the first half of season 4 where it broke, and then I didn't watch the second half because I'm just like, whatever. I need to go back and finish it.
All right, so back to Minecraft. Yeah, so Jason Momoa, I did not see the angle they were gonna go with casting him.
Yep.
Because I was like, what's this tall Hawaiian dude gonna do on this show? Yeah. I was like, what a strange, like, a character. And then I'm like, this character actually fits. It helps the other main characters. Like, other than Steve or Jack Black's character, you have the 2 kids, Henry and Natalie.
Yeah.
I guess the adults in the show were supposed to help them grow as children that just lost their parents. Well, I guess Natalie wasn't a child. She was very much an adult because she was her brother's guardian, and she was working at the time he was in school, which there was a lot of predictable things in that trope, where a brother and sister are on their own in the wild of life. And one is a sister that is trying her best to support both her and her brother, not really giving her time to grieve. And then her brother, who has to, I guess, find his way through high school. Was it high school or middle school?
High school.
High school.
Yeah, I think he might have been a freshman. I wanted to say he was probably a freshman.
Some of these kids, he looked like he was in middle school. Not gonna lie. High school makes sense in high school, especially when they're working on like rocket stuff. But I also I was in a rocket elective. Like, we were learning rockets in middle school. Not so much rockets like rocket science, but like, the bottle cap bottle ones.
Yeah.
Like, I believe you could do that in middle school, but his was a little bit more intricate, so to speak.
Yeah. He was a genius kid.
He was.
That's why the world of Minecraft worked out for him, because he understood how to build things. Because, I mean, that's all Minecraft is, right? It's like the world of build.
Yeah.
So, Minecraft, what the heck?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
No, but yeah, no, talking about the characters, I think it's interesting. Like you have Jason Momoa's character, right? Garrett, who is stuck in the past. He wants to still be that champion. He still wants to be that kid-like character, I guess you could say, right? Because he doesn't want to leave that behind. And then you have Nancy, was the girl's name?
Yeah.
Nancy, who
or Natalie. Sorry.
Natalie. I thought it was Nancy. I thought Natalie, and then I said Nancy. But Natalie, like, she has to grow up.
She does.
Right, because her parents are passed away. So she now has to take care of her younger brother. She has to grow up. She has to become an adult, right? And then same thing with, I would say Jack Black's character, Steve, is also a character who kind of wanted to grow up because he wanted to be a miner.
Yeah.
And they just wouldn't let him. So he was hoping, like, they came to the point where he was an adult now. He's like, that old man ain't going to stop me now.
Exactly.
And he didn't.
And
he got in.
He walked
got
right
in.
past him.
Yeah. So I think that there was a pretty interesting contrast, especially between like Steve and Garrett.
Oh, Garrett, yeah.
And Garrett kind of just contrasted everybody, because even what was the other
zoo lady?
Yeah.
She Danielle Brooks, or she was in a zoo. She was like
she was everything.
Like an animal.
She had an animal zoo. She was a real estate agent.
Yeah, that's right.
She was a hustler of all jobs. Her name was Dawn.
A lot of side jobs.
Yeah. Which like again, another adult person, right? Who's just trying to make it through life every paycheck by paycheck or whatever she's trying to do, because she had like 14
early.
Jobs.
Exactly.
So are there llamas in
Minecraft there are llamas, yes.
Okay.
And their spit attacks you.
Oh, that's
like
cool.
if they spit you lose hearts.
Oh, nice. Is that I was wondering if that's why there was a llama, and they focused a lot on the llama at the beginning.
Yeah, they did.
I'm like, is that llama supposed to represent something in Minecraft?
Oh no, but there was representation in the movie with a character. So there's a character that, if you guys are watching this and you guys have been fans of Minecraft, you guys will know who I'm talking about. It's a little pig that had a crown.
Oh yeah. Because I once again, I don't know anything about this. Like all of the like Easter eggs or whatever, goes right over my head. I have no idea any of it, but because all I know is that it's like, why does that pig have a crown? And what Steve says, he's around these parts, he's a legend, right? And I'm just like, but why is he a legend?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, was your theater quiet?
There was nobody in our. There was only like 2 other people in our theater, like 2 other groups. And they were all adults. We didn't, thank the Lord, we didn't have any freaking little children going around. That's really upsetting. I know we just like segued into this, but that's super upsetting that people just went around trashing theaters. I'm like, that's not funny.
Oh, trashing theaters? Yeah,
you didn't hear about that?
No,
bro. Like all these like kids, and when I say kids, they're like all teenagers or whatever. But they went around whenever they went to the theater. They would just make. You should see some of the pictures of some of these theaters. Like, they were trash, popcorn all over the place, and theaters started had to send posted messages on either their like X or on their websites saying that vandalize, like, this is intolerable, and if you do this, you will be banned from the theater for the rest of your life. Like the people were just doing some ridiculous things among making noise.
Right.
And I'm just like, why?
I didn't know that, and I'm a frequent moviegoer.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. It was pretty bad. Like the first, like the opening week. People were doing some crazy stuff. But why was yours super loud?
Mine wasn't super loud, but there were like maybe 10 of us. I went by myself because somebody didn't want to come through. It was 9 p.m. Yeah, I didn't want to come.
At the time, I didn't think I was gonna go watch it.
True. Anyway, when I went and the pig with the crown came, you hear everybody in the back, woo, and they're all in the back. Like, I'm sitting like right in the middle, right before the ascension of the chairs. That's the best place. And I'm right in the middle because I'm by myself, And then they just say, yeah. And I'm like, oh, this must be it, because my brother told me a little bit. But that is Technoblade. Technoblade is a character, or is a person who played a pig with a crown. He was like a royal pig. And he was a streamer. He streamed Minecraft gameplay and such, right? So much so, I mean, like, he had a bunch of followers. A lot of people like watching his videos. And I believe he had cancer, I believe, or he was very sick. And his final video, he states like, hey, if you guys are watching this video, it means I have died. And then he has all like this huge montage of everything that he's done and his last gameplay of Minecraft. And he had, and it was such a big thing in the Minecraft community that, like, if you've played Minecraft from the beginning, you would know who Technoblade is. And that's why he was in the movie.
Now that you mention it, Teresa, my wife, we were watching a TikTok, and there was some older guy, like a dad, and he goes into a room and he goes, "Happy birthday, son," and then it clips to a kid who apparently died. I think it might have been cancer, and then he's talking about like, "Hey, if you're watching this video, that means I'm dead.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I just sat there going, why would somebody make this? This is so sad. This is horrible. But it might have been that kid.
It might have been.
I didn't pay attention to who's the name of the person, nor would I've connected
connected the two.
Associated that he was the what's the Techno Pig?
Technoblade.
Yeah. So he dressed as a pig.
He was a pig with
with
a cape and a crown.
In Minecraft.
Cape and a crown in Minecraft. That was his main character. Like that was his skin.
So they put him in. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty. That's pretty dope. That's like no. That's some good props right there. Like stuff like that always gets you, gives it extra points, or as the kids would say, gives it some more aura.
Aura farming. I learned that too, guys. No, it's funny.
And that's where we lose everybody.
It's funny when you say that there wasn't any kids in the theater. I don't think the kids would be the loudest. It would be the adults around my brother's age, so like in their like late 20s, early 30s.
I mean, probably the people who were doing all these things were like, no, everybody in my theater were like, they were in their 50s. Oh. They were older people.
Oh,
right?
Must have been date night.
We were the youngest, and it was middle of the day. I think that's probably why, because it was like on a Thursday. It was a Thursday at like 2 PM. So
wow,
these were all probably like this older, retired people were like, hey, let's go watch this movie.
Fair enough.
But most of the people who were trashing the places, they were like teenagers, 20-year-olds kind of area. The ones who had frontal cortex haven't been, the frontal lobe hasn't been fully developed yet.
Absolutely. They're on the cusp of genius and psycho. This is what it is.
I know which way they're leading.
Okay.
But now that you say that, I give that movie a little bit more respect than I already did, which I gave it a lot of respect. I thought, like I said, the movie had some really good lines in it. Some of the stuff was just, it was dumb, but in a good way. Like it was classy dumb, not just like stupid dumb. But
in Jack
Black and Jason Momoa did such a good job of like they worked really well.
They did, and I wouldn't say that they didn't have chemistry, but it's just something that just worked because of who they are as actors.
I would have never thought that of Jason Momoa. As much as I'm not the biggest Momoa fan, but I do enjoy the stuff he's been in. When I watched him in this in the trailers, I'm like, there's no way this guy can pull off anything funny. He just doesn't seem like the character who could do it. I've seen him in like, what was it? C?
Oh yeah.
Right. Atlantis. Stargate Atlantis, for those all the way back. I don't know if that's where he originated from, but that's where I remember watching him. Baywatch? He was in Baywatch?
Yeah.
Like the 90s Baywatch?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah, he was a kid.
Dang, that's far back.
Yeah, he's far back. Yeah.
But I'm just like, this guy always plays somewhat of a serious character. I've never seen him play anything
other
goofy.
than Aquaman, right?
Aquaman is not even, he still isn't that goofy in that.
True.
It's still pretty a serious character. Like, he'll throw puns, but I'm like, his character is supposed to be just a silly character in Minecraft.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna do it. But he played that like washed out guy so well. And I'm just like, I have to give you your props, man. Dude. I asked for forgiveness for not believing in your talent. You definitely have it. And you did such a great job. And like, I honestly, this is how I thought of the movie. I thought it was going to be a Jack Black movie with a bunch of side people. Because usually that's how it goes. Jack Black kind of takes like front and center in a lot of his movies. He just does a great job of just taking all of it. No, I think Jason Momoa and him did a really good job of like...
They did.
Like just like vibing off of each other throughout the whole movie. I think they had chemistry. Mm-hmm.
I think what was really cool about both of their characters is that their chemistry with the other cast members, like with Henry and Natalie, where Jason Momoa thought that Henry looked up to him.
Yeah.
And
it started getting jealous when he started looking up to Jack.
Yeah.
Or to what's his name?
Steve. Yeah.
Steve, yeah.
And then you have Dawn, who is a woman of many trades. You know what I mean? Like just doing all these things, and she's like she knows that she has to kind of help these kids, knowing that they're the only ones that are together, and they don't really have a foot in their ground yet in their new city. And you don't see really Dawn helping Henry out all too much, but you do see her giving Natalie a hand.
Right.
That's when they split up. It's like the boys were together and the girls went, and the girls got sent. I don't know where it was. They were like far. And I've played Minecraft enough to know, like, if they're not in the same area and they don't know. See, I have the button named F3. It's a function button that if you hit F3, you can tell your coordinates on where you're at on the map. They did not have that, access. So I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to take forever. But then they were talking about, we're going to go to a woodland mansion. I'm going to tell you right now, a woodland mansion is one of the toughest things to find. Unless you're looking for it, and sometimes it'll take, like, you won't even find it the first day. Like, it takes forever to find.
Really?
Yes. And, like, I want to say I've probably only been in 6 woodland mansions versus I've been into like 50 ocean monuments. Now, ocean monuments is obviously in the ocean, but you can never really find it. And then if you do find it, you see like this huge guardian thing go over your screen. It's like a cyclops fish. Just go over your screen telling you, oh, you're very slow right now. You get a slowness for like 8 minutes. I forget how long. And the only way to stop that is you drink milk. If you guys didn't know that, I'm sorry. I spoiled you. Your fun. But yeah,
Or you saved them frustration.
Maybe, yeah. But ocean monuments are kind of hard. But he said woodland mansions. And I'm like, I hate that place. I was like, I hate that place. Because those dudes are tough, man. It is a tough area. Or like, I can't say it's a level because, there's a bunch of them all over the maps. And it's funny, one of the woodland mansions I found, I set on fire. And you just watch old things.
Did you like was it the chicken song?
The chicken song?
Yeah, the one that Jack Black started singing when he was cooking his chicken.
Oh yeah. I don't remember what the song sounds like, but I do remember him singing, and I'm glad you brought that up because there's more to that, the way that the chicken was cooked. But go on.
No, I was just wondering if you liked it.
Oh yeah, no, I liked a lot of the music on there.
It was pretty interesting. And I was wondering, like, did he write that one too?
Possibly.
Because he wrote for the Mario movie, he wrote the Bowser song or the Peach song.
Yeah, Peach, right. Peach. Yeah, I was like,
so I'm like, did he write that one? I mean, he is a musician.
Yeah.
So
he's a tenacious one.
Oh, here's a question for you. I just got that. Oh man, that was slow of me. But yeah, are there pandas in Minecraft?
Yes, they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They weren't in the beginning, I believe. I think they were like an update, but I forgot when.
I was wondering, it could, like I said, I don't know anything about this, but I was like, when I saw the pandas, because it's such a random thing to have in the game, I'm just like, is this like a homage to Kung Fu Panda? Because he's the voice actor for...
Oh, that's
that's why I thought that there were pandas.
Yeah, no, there are definitely pandas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and what's funny is that, like, right now, we started playing Minecraft again, and my brother's using bamboo for fuel for one of his farms. I don't know what farm. He is farming it. So you brought up the chicken thing, right?
Yeah.
The chicken song. But I want to talk about the chicken machine, okay? Those are farms that you see a lot in Minecraft. And depending on how creative you are, the more sinister things you can make in Minecraft. But the way that they did it was actually pretty top tier for me. They used lava and a chicken coop to continuously make chicken. And what was funny is that Jason Momoa really did bite that very real chicken while it was hot. And he's like, yo, it was hot. It was hot. And I was like, oh my gosh. But that's what they said in an interview. I don't know if I could take that at face value, but if that was true, if that was hot, yeah, his face was for real. He's like,
I remember, and Jack is like, it's hot. I'm going to eat this chicken. It's like, it's gonna burn. Okay. They really didn't like each other at first. That was so funny.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things. So they did a really good job with creepers in the movie. So,
are those the zombie creatures?
No, these are they're all green and they light up.
And the ones that exploded whenever you touch them or whatever.
Mm-hmm. So and then they had a whole remember when they're like, he's like, oh, this is my creeper farm or breed. I think it's my breeding area for creepers. And then Henry goes, you're breeding these things? And then, they all started blowing up. I was like, well, it's a good thing he did. But what's funny is that my brother breeds them. He breeds them. But
for what purpose?
He makes fireworks. So in Minecraft, you can't fly. But you get these things called elytras, which you did see in the show. That's the little wings that Jack Black gave
Yeah.
them. Yeah, so those are called our elytras. And you don't just find them in the overworld or in the nether. You find them at the end. That's a whole different dimension in the game. And I was like, oh, he has 2 of them. I was like, yo, he been there for a long time. But those elytras, as long as like you're from a high point, you can fly pretty far. But with the firework, if you use it, you go far. You can go back up and then glide again. So that was. Oh yeah, I forgot. So I did say that Woodland Mansions is hard to find, but if you have an elytra and the fireworks, you'll get there pretty fast. You'll get there very fast. And so yeah, so they had. So my brother makes a breeding farm, and what it is he has stacks of. He has like I want to say 30 levels, or not 30. So it's like 45 levels, and then every other level is just there's like a two block high or 3 block high. That's just enough for creepers to come through. And what happens is it's dark in the center, so it's pretty far out. So I want to say it's like maybe 10. So if this is the center, it's 10 blocks left, 10 blocks right, 10 blocks going forward and back. And he has 45 levels of that. And then it's dark, and then there's water at the edge of each level. So what happens is when a mob is dies or something like that, like whether it be a zombie, a skeleton, a spider, or whatever, they all just end up on the bottom. And he has a sorter. And so whenever a creeper goes down there, falls down, they fall down, they hit the magma, and the magma makes them like shiver a little bit, and then they die. And then their loot goes down into the sorter, and then they all go into their own chest. And if you were to, and so 64 is the maximum stack for everyone. My brother had 8 double chests full of those gunpowders. They drop gunpowder. Yeah.
Everything you just said, I'm like, I can't comprehend. I mean, I understand exactly what you're saying. Uh-huh. It's just like I feel like you were talking to me in code,
bro. Yeah, no. So yeah, my brother. Yeah, that's just the way that I don't know if he could build that same way because they did an update, so certain things are different now.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, he made 1, and then he made 3 more. And then our buddy out in Canada, he built another 4 to match him. And then they both together built 1 together. And so they have 9 total, or had 9 total. And the amount of fireworks I had, he gave me like a whole chest of fireworks. And to make fireworks too, you also, not only do you need the loot from a creeper, which is gunpowder, you need paper. So you have to get a paper field, which paper is made from sugarcane. And oh my gosh, yo, guys, the farming in this game is insane. So being able to see the chicken farm and it's such a minute farm, or not minute farm, it's such a small farm that you tend to think like, oh man, yeah, like that's the beginnings of like these giant farms that people make. Yeah, because like, oh yeah, so I've built a cow farm and it's to make steak, and it's a 1v1. So like you put a cow on this thing, and then like in a block, and you kind of like you kind of encase them in. This is a very inhumane way of doing things, but it's a game, so please forgive me. So you put 2 cows in this 1x1 space, and then you put like a little like a fence above them. You put a carpet underneath their feet, and then there's going to be a hopper underneath. And depending on if you have like, if you can make like a little area with lava, and then they'll just kind of go through the lava sometimes, but I don't think that's the case. But whatever the case is, you can get steak this way. And you keep breeding them, and you would just go up to the cows and you just feed them, the regular wheat. And then, they'll just have babies and they'll grow up to be adults. And once they're all adults, then it's going to be too big. So essentially you're just stuffing them and then just die, and then you get their loot. You get leather and you get meat. It is insane.
So
it is an insane, yeah, but like to see the lava and the chicken thing like and then come out like a vending machine, I was like, yeah, this is very Minecrafty, like yeah, that's definitely it. Were there any negative parts to the movie?
No, but I do have not that I can think of, but I do have some honorable mentions that we should definitely talk about.
Okay, let's do it.
We should definitely talk about one of my favorite actresses. I think she does such a great job. Everything I've ever seen her in, I just enjoy her because she's just funny. Jennifer Coolidge.
I knew you was gonna bring her up. Yes,
What a wonder! Her character was hilarious.
it was.
But
it
she's
was.
always like she always plays pretty much the same character in anything she plays. But she does such a good job of playing that. Like I don't even know how to explain her character without being like insulting, like pathetic, but
and innocent.
an innocent way. Yeah. It's so funny. And then when is it the villager? Nitwit, I think, was the name of the character eventually at the end of it.
He was a villager, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Like her is like, oh, I hit you with my car. It's like, we could go and have a dinner.
And all he says,
Yeah, it's like, you're such a great listener.
And yeah, dude, the whole time, because I'm like, she's just gonna let him just say, the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna give her like, so villagers sometimes give you things that they're good to trade with. So I thought he was gonna give her like an emerald or like maybe a carrot, something like that. And he did none of that. All he does, and his nose is super long.
Bro, that you know what the funny part is? So okay, so the people I went with was my the youth pastor and one of the kids, right? And we because the kid really wanted to go watch it, and we're like, okay, let's go watch it. And the whole time we're there, whenever we see the villagers, the pastor would just go, a unibrow? Why do you have a unibrow? And I'm looking at it, it's like, the unibrow is what's bothering you? It's not the nose. The unibrow. That's what's bothering you. This guy's face is covered half by its nose. Why is that not bothering you?
I was like, that would have been super suspicious.
But I was just laughing because he's just like, the unibrow? I'm like, you're killing me, bro. You're killing me. And I just, but yeah, Jennifer Coolidge did such a great job. I enjoyed her character whenever those little breakup scenes came in. I was like, and then he started. The villagers, I'm assuming, don't ever speak.
No, they just
go. And this one apparently learned how to start speaking
at the end
English, or
and in a very like charismatic way.
Yeah, he had a very British accent. I think it was the actor who voiced him. His name is Matt Berry.
Oh, Matt Berry.
Yeah, he's the one who voiced the
dude
Nitwit by the end of it. And I like that she learned how to speak, I guess, villager.
Yeah. And it's funny because Matt Berry, rumors are saying that Matt Berry was supposed to play Steve.
I can see that. I mean, they both Matt Berry and Jack Black have a very similar look.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to do a shout out to Malgosha, played by Rachel House. That's a New Zealand actress. And
she did a good job.
Yeah. And what was funny was her beginnings. She was like, what is it? Nether Got Talent or something like that. And she was dancing and they're like, no, you can't dance. We look for gold and da 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 da. And I was just like, that's hilarious. And I was just like, she's not bad. I was like, just give her a chance, dude, But she wasn't allowed to dream. So if she couldn't dream, no one else can.
Sad. Were you as excited about the chicken jockey?
I hate those things. Well, I'm fighting. I think in the game wise, the chicken jockey and the spider jockey, I hate both of those. Spider jockey sucks sometimes because the skellies they hit. They're not only close range, but they're also long range mobs, and I'm always up to challenge them. But man, they suck at the beginning.
Yeah.
Dude, that was the craziest thing I've seen in the game once. Like, I would be fighting a regular size zombie, and then this little zombie would come out of nowhere super fast, and just like, right? And then you see a chicken and a zombie, and they're attacking you in the same fashion. So when I saw that, I was just like, oh, chicken jockey. But when it came on, my little theater that could went nuts. I was just like, don't act like you guys like this thing. This thing was a problem in survival. All right? This thing was try to build a house with that thing just on the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, normally I'm up top, like working on the roof or something like that. But when you see them, no.
I like when Jason Momoa was fighting it, and he hit it, and they're like, started crying. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, bro, don't fall for it. He's just tricking you. And then he gets whooped again.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is so funny. Another scene that I really enjoyed, it really got me. it really got me was the man sandwich scene where they're like flying. And then there was an explosion in the wall.
Yeah.
And then, we need to make a man sandwich. Jack Black's like, a what? A man sandwich. Trust me. I'm like, what the hell is happening? And he like flips on him and like they're just holding each other. I'm just like, this is so dumb, but it's so funny. Oh, you got me good. You got me good. I didn't expect to laugh at that, but that was good.
I think it was funny because of the face that Jason Momoa made. He's like, what? Huh? No, I don't want to do that. And I think that's brilliant too. Like what was it? Conveniently had a little hole to go through.
Yeah.
I was like, where'd that come from?
Oh no, one of the I don't know what the floating octopus creatures are called.
Oh, the gassed.
Yeah, they shot one of their fireballs and then put a hole in the wall.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right. There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, here's one of the things that I don't remember gassed sounding like a big whale. If I remember correctly from the movie, I believe it sounded like a like that. That's like, more of a zombie.
Like a gas sound.
A gas.
Like a ghastly sound.
On Minecraft, it's supposed to sound like a cat.
Ghastly.
It's supposed to sound like a cat.
Oh.
Like that.
That's what a gas is supposed to sound like?
Yeah.
I think they made a better choice making it sound. That's creepy.
It is.
That's just creepy.
But I mean, it's funny because that means that they're chilling.
Oh.
But when they're gonna attack, they sound like a freaking like a cat, like on its on its toes or whatever. Yeah. And then the fireball comes out. That's so funny. When you hear when you hear that means that you gotta like you have time to hide. But when they sound like a zombie in the air, dude, that's freaking scary. Because you'd be mining, right? And you could hear like a zombie on the other side of a wall that you're not really mining. So mining this way, but there's a wall on your right, and you're you don't even know if it's behind you or on the other side of the wall. You know what I mean? So that kind of like gives you a little edge, But I think that the animation did fantastic. Yeah. By the way, we didn't touch on that. Like, I like how they kept to the idea that most characters or most NPCs were square.
Right.
Like the panda was square, the camel was square, I guess, rectangular, if maybe like square neck on top of each other. And then you also have the wolf, Dennis. I was like, I don't know how he had survived in the overworld or in our world, excuse me, and not be like.
That's a weird looking dog right there.
That's a weird dog.
That's what I kept thinking every time you pass by. I'm like, nobody sees this rectangular animal just walking around. Like, how many rectangle dogs or wolves do you see? But yeah, no, I agree. Did you? I saw this on I think it was TikTok, and it was about the gas.
Mm-hmm.
Gassed.
Like ghost with that A.
Oh, yeah. That you could save them ahead of time when you can find like baby ones.
Yeah.
And then you can take them out, and then they're happy and they're not sad.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I know about Minecraft.
Yeah, because they used to be in the overworld. So, something stole their babies, and they've been looking in the nether.
That's so sad.
Yeah. I didn't know that. My brother recently told me that too. That is wild. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, and so one of the biggest things. So there's an after credit in the film.
Oh yeah.
And if you guys are familiar with the game, like I said, Steve is the default character. Everybody plays as Steve. But if you wanted to be a girl character, there was I forgot her name. I just had her name. But there's a female character that started up with
Steve.
With Steve. And when Steve goes back to his home house, and he's like, hey, you might not know me, but I used to live here, and this and that, whatever. And then you see her step out, and you see like her hair, her ponytail kind of in the front, and she's wearing like a green shirt. That's how I was like. Then people in my theater, people had already left. I think that was probably like their second or third time watching the film, because I was like, it's a very simple Google. It's like, is there after credits or are there after credits?
Yeah, that's what I do every time. I'm
100%.
like, I'm not gonna sit here if there isn't one.
Yeah. I was like, I don't have any friends in the designer team and the makeup team. I don't know any of those guys. So after credits it is. And so you see the female character or the default female character, and I thought that was really nice. I forgot her name. Was it Rachel? I don't think so.
You're the Minecraft fan here.
Yeah, but like she's like the
Some fan he really is, huh?
That's true, but I don't really pick her. So you know what I'm saying? Like I normally I'm like right now I am a lava track runner. So like my character kind of looks like a creeper, but it's like looks like fire instead of all green. And he has a shirt with like 3 like lines going diagonal like that. So it makes him look like he's wearing like a tracksuit. And that's my skin right now. So I am a lava creeper.
I am I'm nothing really. I guess I'm just Steve, plain old Steve.
Well, yeah, there wasn't a lot of
Negatives.
negatives I can see.
I like for me, like I said, I came into this with such low expectations to begin with that it just blew me out of the water.
Mm-hmm.
So any really negative things, I wouldn't be able to pick them out because for one, I've never played the game. I'm not a fan of the game, so I don't know any of that kind of like the lure behind it. So I can't say, oh no, they did that wrong, right? I just see all the good stuff, and I thought it was great. And you telling me that the pig, what's his name? The pig
Technoblade?
Yeah, Technoblade. You know, it was like a homage to the kid who.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what? That just adds to it. Like, tell me one bad thing about this movie, and I'll just point at that kid, at that pig, and I'm like, yeah, but that pig isn't it.
Yeah.
Who cares how bad this movie could have been? That pig is in it. You know? So, like, honestly, nothing bad to say. And that's the first, I think. That's the first.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Especially on something that you weren't really looking forward to.
Yeah. Like, I guess I should just go into every movie expecting it's just going to be absolute garbage so that I just feel better when I get out. Yeah. I really enjoyed it.
And even if it was hot garbage, you'd be like, oh, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
It's exactly what I expected it to be. No, it was actually better.
I think for me, like, I was actually very impressed at the movie. I was just like, well, this is really good. This is a really good movie. A lot of my negatives was basically like taking out the seriousness of how hard certain things was, like getting an elytra, getting a woodland mansion. None of those things, by the way, have anything to do with mining. and well, except for maybe getting to the end for the elytras, but still, like, I was like, you are playing lightly on this, because like it's crazy, dude. Like we just started a new world, and my brother, my buddy Matt, who lives here, my other buddy Matt that lives in Canada, they have beaten the game themselves a bunch of times before we even start playing the game. So like before I even log in, they've already beaten it, and I'm like, come on, guys. And there's dudes on Minecraft, or YouTube Minecraft, where, you know, most of their content is YouTube or Minecraft, and they do speed runs to how fast they can beat the game.
There usually is, right?
Yeah, and this dude, I don't know, fast, but my brother, they could beat it in a couple hours. And like they'll start it like at 6 p.m. and normally I don't hop on right away. I got my anime, my Korean dramas to watch, and then I'll hop on. You know what I mean? I was like, and then by then they're like, oh yeah, we're at the dragon. I was like, I just got on. I was just like, yeah, no, we did it together. I was like, oh, I see. That makes sense. When they do it together, it's a lot faster because they don't have to be in the same part of the map. They just need to figure out where the middle is, and then they have to kill a bunch of Endermen and this and that, whatever. Oh man, it is a trip to try to find all those guys, but it is definitely movie wise, it was definitely a great movie, especially for people who hasn't played Minecraft. I think some parents would really like it. I know that there was a video of crowd reactions for Minecraft, and there were people that were really mad at the screaming and everything. They're like, we're trying to watch a movie. Please, shh. And then, of course, the people who are like celebrating are going to get mad about that. And I was like, guys, you don't watch it the day it comes out or the weekend it comes out. You watch it a different day. I was just like, it's almost automatic. If anybody saw an Avengers movie, like I remember watching Transformers, the first one, at Anime Expo in 2007. And people were loud. And I was like, oh, this is weird. This is different. And then the next time was during Avengers, the first one. And then, you know, when the Hulk punches that flying cockroach or whatever. And I'm hearing everybody like, whoa, like that. And then, but there was one where it was pretty tame. I forget which one. I think it was the Age of Ultron. But you're just like, whoa. You hear a bunch of, whoa, trying to be tame because whenever Ultron spoke, you could never hear him. ain't no strings on me. And you're like, huh? What? But yeah, no. As far as a grade goes for this, though, I want to say the movie was incredible. I thought the movie was great. Did I like the characters? I think the characters were very likable. The kid, Henry. He had a mod. They were playing in a modded version of Minecraft. Ain't no way you're gonna put some random items on there and then get an item. I was like, I want that craft box in my game. Cause what? And he was shooting out sound waves. I was like, in my humble opinion, that is a very OP, overpowered weapon. Okay, sound waves. But no, incredible movie. Would I watch it again? Yes, absolutely. But I mean, it's definitely not towards something. It's not something that I would have. I'm trying to justify my grade right now because although they did everything really well, it wasn't like a yes. You know what I mean? Like this is it didn't have that oomph. It was like one of the movies that I'm gonna just say I'm gonna give it like a C plus. I give it a C plus. Maybe because it was short. There's a lot of things that I wanted to see that wasn't there. Yeah, I think I would give it a C. Give it a C plus.
Well,
Good movie though.
Now I'm like rethinking my whole idea. I mean, like I said, I expected this movie to be not very good at all. Came into it, was very impressed. Jason Momoa, like I said, I just was like, wow, okay, bro. I didn't know you had this in your toolbox. Okay. Jack Black did a great job. The rest of the cast did a great job. I give it a B plus. I enjoyed it. I came out of it just being like, that was good. That was a good movie. I have no complaints about it. Is it a movie that I would rewatch again? Not at the theaters. Probably not. At home, maybe.
Oh yeah.
If I'm bored.
At home, yeah, I would definitely.
But a B plus for sure. Like that.
That's fair.
A C plus. That's an insult.
Well, I mean, I'll just.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I don't know. Maybe it's just there. Maybe it's because there's a lot of things that didn't make sense that had to make sense. I guess
none of the movie
like
makes
the
sense.
Nether Got Talent was funny, absolutely hilarious. But I was just like, I guess it's trying to pander towards today's entertainment. I guess because Your Country's Got Talent is very popular. That was funny. I mean, not gonna lie, that's funny. And then you have the video game or the gamer washout from like the 80s. I thought that was pretty funny, but like I was like, what a random character.
That reminds me when when Garrett goes to pick up Henry.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know what's Jennifer's character's name. I don't know what her.
Oh, the principal, right?
Yeah, the principal.
Or was it vice principal?
Marlene. And Marlene's like, oh, that's such a nice car. It's like, and she like tried to like hit on him, and he just looks at her and he goes. His character's like, she was talking about her divorce, I think.
Yeah.
And he goes, the person who left you is an idiot, and it just drives off. I'm just like, no. This guy is truly. His character was too good. I loved it. It was so good.
He reminds me a little bit of Frankie from One Piece because in one of the arcs, Frankie is asked by a character. She's like, "Hey, you want to get married?" He's like, "You're a catch, darling, but I'm just too cool." And he walks away, and I was just like, "I see you, dog. I see." So when I saw that, yeah, ow. I hit my foot. Jeez. But yeah, no. C plus, sorry. I mean, maybe it'll go up to a B minus, maybe like by the end of the day. Maybe an A plus, who knows? But it was a good movie. I definitely recommend it to everybody. The C plus is not towards the movie, more so like my feelings of it. I did love the Technoblade aspect of it. And yeah, it was a good movie overall. And that's going to wrap up this episode. Follow us on IG, Facebook, X, and TikTok. You can catch all of our video content here on YouTube. Please leave a review as it will help our podcast grow and join our community on Discord. Thanks for hanging out with us. And don't forget,